Hello there, this is Welsh ASMR 82. Hey, how are you doing? We're in the middle of a mini-series at the moment where I use Wikipedia to read the histories of cities in the Nordics. We started off with Oslo in Norway, and then last week I did Stockholm in Sweden. So I promised you in that video we do Copenhagen in Denmark today, and next week we'll look at Helsinki in Finland. And once we've done the capital cities, if you want me to do other cities, then leave a comment. Okay, so this is going to be a mix of soft spoken and whispered ASMR, and I'll be reading to you. I hope you're relaxed, and I hope that you find it relaxing and informative and interesting in general. So, Copenhagen, capital and largest city of Denmark. Copenhagen, or in Danish, Copenhagen, is the capital and most populous city of Denmark, with a population of around 650,000 in the municipality and 1.4 million in the urban area. The city is on the islands of Zealand and Amaya, separated from Malmö, Sweden by the Öresund Strait. Öresund. The Öresund Bridge connects the two cities by rail and road. Quick facts and some nice pictures. Byen Copenhagen. Oh, it's pretty. So, I admitted that I've never been to Oslo. This is stunning, isn't it? I've been to Stockholm, and not only have I been in Copenhagen, but it's also one of my favorite cities in the world. It is stunning, and I happened to go there just after Christmas. It's like the week after Christmas in 2002, I think. 2001, 2002. And it had been snowing, and there's all cobbled streets. And it was so picturesque, very beautiful. And we went over that bridge to go to Malmö. Okay. So we looked there at the Christiansborg Palace, Tivoli Gardens, Nyhavn, the lakes and Frederick's Church, as well as these pictures of Copenhagen and the wider world. We talked about the population. The density is 7,298 per kilometre squared. That's people per kilometre squared. Okay. Apparently the demonym for a person from Copenhagen is a Copenhagener in English. I've never used that. Originally a Viking fishing village established in the 10th century in the vicinity of what is now Gammelstrand. Copenhagen, the old beach, right? Copenhagen became the capital of Denmark in the early 15th century. From the 17th century it became a regional centre of power, with its institutions, defences and armed forces. During the Renaissance, the city was the de facto capital of the Kalmar Union, and the seat of monarchy, governing most of the present-day Nordic region in a union with Sweden and Norway, ruled by the Danish monarch serving as the head of state. The city flourished as the cultural and economic centre of Scandinavia, and the Union for over 120 years, from the 15th century until the early 16th, when Sweden left the Union through a rebellion. After a plague outbreak and fire in the 18th century, the city underwent redevelopment. This included construction of the prestigious district of Fredrikstaden and Fredrikstaden. I'm pronouncing my R's a bit wrong. Fredrikstaden. And founding cultural institutions including the Royal Theatre and the Royal Academy of Fine Arts. After disasters in the early 19th century when Horatio Nelson attacked the Dano-Norwegian fleet and bombarded the city, rebuilding during the Danish Golden Age brought a neoclassical look to Copenhagen's architecture. After the Second World War, the Finger Plan fostered the development of housing and businesses along the 5 urban railway routes emanating from the city centre. Since the turn of the 21st century, Copenhagen has seen strong urban and cultural development, facilitated by investment in its institutions and infrastructure. The city is the cultural, economic and governmental centre of Denmark. It is one of the major financial centres of Northern Europe with the Copenhagen Stock Exchange. Copenhagen's economy has developed rapidly in the service sector, especially through initiatives in information technology, pharmaceuticals and clean technology. Since the completion of the Øresund Bridge, Copenhagen has increasingly integrated with the Swedish province of Skåne, and its largest city Malmö, forming the Øresund region, with several bridges connecting the various districts. The cityscape is characterized by parks, promenades, and waterfronts. Copenhagen's landmarks, such as Tivoli Gardens, the Little Mermaid statue, I saw that, the Amalienborg, and the Christiansborg palaces, the Rosenborg Castle, Frederiks Church, Børsen, and many museums, restaurants and nightclubs are significant tourist attractions. Indeed they are. Copenhagen is home to the University of Copenhagen, the Technical University of Denmark, Copenhagen Business School, and the IT University of Copenhagen. The University of Copenhagen, founded in 1479, is the oldest university in Denmark. Copenhagen is home to the football clubs FC København or Copenhagen and Brøndby IF. The annual Copenhagen Marathon was established in 1980. Copenhagen is one of the most bicycle-friendly cities in the world. Movia is the public mass transit company serving all of eastern Denmark except Bornholm. The Copenhagen Metro, launched in 2002, serves central Copenhagen. Additionally, the Copenhagen S-Train, the Lokaltog private railway, and the Coastline Network serve and connect central Copenhagen to outlying boroughs, serving roughly 2.5 million passengers a month. Copenhagen Airport, Kastrup, is the busiest airport in the Nordic countries. Etymology. Copenhagen's name, København in Danish, reflects its origin as a harbour and a place of commerce. The original designation in Old Norse, from which Danish descends, was Kaupmannahofen. That makes a lot of sense to me as a German speaker. Kaup is like to buy, kaufen, and then Hofen is like harbour. Modern Icelandic, Kaupmannahöfen. Faroese, Cape Mannerhaven, meaning merchant's harbour. By the time Old Danish was spoken, the capital was called København, with the current name deriving from centuries of subsequent regular sound change, particularly of the end part there where it became a V and then AV becomes an OW sound. The English cognates of the original name would be Chapman's Haven. The English Chapman, German Kaufmann, Dutch Koopman, Swedish Köpman, Danish Købman, and Icelandic Kaupmaður share a derivation from Latin kaupo, meaning tradesman. However, the English term for the city was adapted from its Low German name, Copenhagen. Copenhagen's Swedish name is Copenhagen, a direct translation of the mutually intelligible Danish name. It's only mutually intelligible to a Swede if it's written down, not spoken. Famously. The city's Latin name is Hafnia. Cute. It's a little map of old Slottsholmen. So that's the castle, the fortress, and these are the city walls. Although the earliest historical records of Copenhagen are from the end of the 12th century, recent archaeological finds in connection with work on the city's metropolitan rail system revealed the remains of a large merchant's mansion near today's Kongens Nytorv from circa 1020. Excavations in Pilstrava have also led to the discovery of a well from the late 12th century. The remains of an ancient church with graves dating to the 11th century have been unearthed where the Strø meets the Horshusblasen. I'm butchering these Danish names, by the way, I'm sorry. Horshusblasen is like the place where the town hall is, right? The square where the town hall is. The Advice House Plaza. These finds indicate that Copenhagen's origins as a city go back at least to the 11th century. Substantial discoveries of flint tools in the area provide evidence of human settlements dating to the Stone Age. Many historians believe the town dates to the late Viking Age and was possibly founded by Sweyn I Forkbeard. Now that's interesting because I'm from Swansea and they think it's from Swain's eye. It's not the same Swain, is it? I'm gonna regret leaving this article now, aren't I? Sweyn Forkbeard, he was in England apparently. The Danish King of England after a long effort. I wonder if it's the same Swain. Maybe it's different Swains. Now, trying to find where I was. Never takes you back. This is the one thing I don't like about Wikipedia. If you leave, it takes you back somewhere completely different. I'm gonna pause it and find it. Oh, I've read that bit. Here we are. The natural harbour and good herring stocks seem to have attracted fishermen and merchants to the area on a seasonal basis from the 11th century and more permanently in the 13th century. The first habitations were probably centred on Gammelstrand, originally Old Shore, in the 11th century or even earlier. The earliest written mention of the town was in the 12th century when Saxo Grammaticus in Gesta Danorum referred to it as Portus Mercatorum, meaning merchant's harbour, or in the Danish Købmandshavn. Traditionally, Copenhagen's founding has been dated to Bishop Absalon's construction of a modest fortress on the little island of Slottsholmen in 1167, where Christiansborg Palace stands today. The construction of the fortress was in response to attacks by Wendish pirates who plagued the coastline during the 12th century. Defensive ramparts and moats were completed, and by 1177 St. Clement's Church had been built. Attacks by the Wends continued, and after the original fortress was eventually destroyed by the marauders, islanders replaced it with Copenhagen Castle. Okay, I think reading the whole of the history is beyond the scope of this video for you today. We'll Post-war decades, shortly after the end of the war, an innovative urban development project known as the Finger Plan was introduced in 1947, encouraging the creation of new housing and businesses interspersed with large green areas along 5 fingers, stretching out from the city centre along the S-train routes. Very clever. With the expansion of the welfare state and women entering the workforce, schools, nurseries, sports facilities and hospitals were established across the city. As a result of student unrest in the late 60s, the former Borsmanstræde barracks in Christianshavn was occupied, leading to the establishment of Freetown Christiania in September 1971. If you don't know what that is, you should check it out. It's basically like a small area, a street maybe, which claimed independence. And because the Danish are so lovely, they were like, yeah, go for it. It's never actually gained recognition, but it's like a commune. It says its Pusher Street is famous for its open trade of cannabis, which is illegal in Denmark. I suppose they do get away with a little bit then. Motor traffic in the city grew significantly, and in 1972 the trams were replaced by buses. From the 60s, on the initiative of the young architect Jan Gehl, pedestrian streets and cycle tracks were created in the city centre. Activity in the port of Copenhagen declined with the closure of Holmen Naval Base. Copenhagen Airport underwent considerable expansion, becoming a hub for the Nordic countries. In the 90s, large-scale housing developments were realised in the harbour area and the west of Amager. The National Library's Black Diamond building on the waterfront was completed in 1999. As you know, if you follow all my channels, I'm a lover of books, so to have a library look so amazing is very appreciated. And this is Christiania. I think it's more of like a tourist place now. That's the Öresund Bridge. Okay. I could continue to read for a very long time, I think, but I think I'll leave it there for the moment. I think we got the gist of it. I highly recommend you take a visit to this truly beautiful place. And also give this video a like. Okay. If you enjoyed the video, drop a comment and let me know where I should be doing after we finished Helsinki next week. If you're new to the channel, hello. Click subscribe and come back for more content similar to this in the future. But for the time being, take care everyone, sleep well, and bye.